They call them the geological lottery winners. Have you heard that phrase before? This is referred to people that are from the countries where they are born into wealth as a result of the natural resources of that country. The first countries that come to mind are what they call the Gulf Arab countries: Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain, Oman, and Qatar. Gulf Arab countries. The funny thing is, Saudi Arabia borders Yemen. Saudi Arabia is swimming in wealth, whereas Yemenis are waiting for their next meal, which doesn't even come. There's an old Persian poem from a very well-known, well, if you're into poetry, from a very well-known and very notoriously poor poet, and his name was Baba Tahir Oryan. Oryan in Persian language means naked, and he earned that nickname because he was so poor he didn't have money to buy enough clothes for himself, so they called him Baba Tahir Naked. Anyways, one of his famous quad poetry that have four elements to it. He says, if one day I get to speak, basically I'm translating it loosely to English. He says, if one day if I get to have the opportunity to speak to the spinning wheel. The spinning wheel here means the God, the universe, I will ask him why you've given someone the sun and the moon and another person a dried bread dipped in vinegar and blood. Basically asking God why one has it all and one is starving in the corner of the street shivering in the cold. Who knows? Someone said you're decided, your life is decided by the color of your skin. I disagree. Your life is decided by what you're born with, because if you look at the people that are from the Gulf Arab countries, and those are not by any means the only ones that are born into wealth as a result of the nation's natural resources and the passport that they are born into. But if you look at those people from Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain, they're almost black, and some of them are just the same skin color as the Africans. So it's not the skin color, it's where you're born that decides, your automatic wealth, the wealth that you don't work for. I'm not talking about the wealth that you gain as a result of your efforts in life. Why am I mentioning this to you? Because someone who sees a young guy in his early 20s driving a $500,000 car, and I'm not exaggerating here, let's say a Rolls-Royce Cullinan SUV, a $500,000 car, and he parks it in front of a discotheque he's going to spend the night with, spending about $3,000 on liquor. And then when the night is over, he drives less than a mile to park in the marina where he boards his $25 million yacht. And then in a way you see somebody who's making his little bed on the bench in that same city to sleep on the bench with a little leftover food that he was given as a charity by someone. You see that, and you sometimes a rage takes over you. Why does it have to be this way? Well, it is what it is. It'll always be this way. There's nothing you and I could do about it. There are people connected to the upper tiers of the society in Nigeria, which is a very oil-rich country in Africa, that are in the same way, or in Botswana and Namibia, where they have, diamonds, in Angola. Same thing. Same thing. Has nothing to do with your skin color. Has everything to do with where you are born. Where? If you're born in Bangladesh, chances are you're going to be poor. Unless you make something of yourself. Unless you get into the textile industry and sell textile to the rest of the hotels and restaurants and whatever in the world. Signing out from beautiful Clever Street, one of the most beautiful streets in Paris, France, on this final day of April 2025. I wish all of you health from 1 through 11, because nothing else is more precious. And then from 12 on, prosperity and the blessing that is being surrounded by friends and family. Because that nothing brings you happiness more than that. Being surrounded by friends and family. All the best.